The windbags used to be all right. Then the calamity took the floor out from under him. Kid ain't finished here yet. The repeater and machete, favorite choices of the Ura hunters we once fought. Ain't always much to say. Kid does it again. Only fair he decides what we build next. A lot of things need fixing up in this world, and we can start right here. Picked up traces of other cores while the kid was out. Couples used to walk the sundown path. Kid ain't here for pleasure, though. But then, somebody gets to the core before the kid. Floor starts giving way under the lightest step. A single panic squirt could bring the whole place down. So could a reckless kid, for that matter. Fragments of the old world rain from the sky. Stray valuables are lying everywhere. Kid thinks twice about risking his hide for them, though. Well, the path ain't exactly open to visitors no more. Security's all fired up. See, the path was intended for leisurely strolling and such. Not so much for noise and tomfoolery. Sky bridges link the path together. One of them bridges whips the kid along. Finds a spyglass, like the ones they'd use to search the stars. Air travel always was an iffy proposition. But Calamity changed everything, even where the wind blows. Well, if we mastered the winds in the old days, we can do it again. But the question is, who else could have taken the core? Well, ain't no survivor stole the thing. Scumbag ate it by mistake. Tough break. Unlike the kid, that core ain't coming back. They used to ship live munitions down the path. Find time to find them. He's wise to toss those things plenty far away. Even gas fellas need some shut-eye from time to time. They get real cranky. In all this toil, Kid keeps coming back to an overwhelming question. Who else could have survived the calamity? So he didn't find a core that time, but that ain't about to stop us. We could always see the stars. We just never could reach them, no matter how high we built. In better days, the melting pot was sealed tighter than the skin on a squirt. Of all the plans to survive the calamity, it had to be stab weeds. Blasted things hurt like a broken heart. If there's a core, he figures it ought to be deeper down. The core's stuck inside one of those fancy cages. No breaking a cage like that, but the kid tries anyway. Gotta find a way to spring it open. Some of the stuff lying around is downright dangerous. He throws a switch. Now what could possibly go wrong? Quite a bit, as it turns out. The cage starts lifting from the core ever so slow. All Kid can do is wait. Shipments start falling in. Not every score's born bad. Some spring to the Kid's defense. Judging by the movement of the cage, it's gonna take a little while. Scumbags don't take kindly to interlopers. Even some gas fellas take his corner. Heard he popped that mean old foreman. At this rate, maybe 5 more minutes, maybe 30, hard to tell. Squirts get real territorial around the core. Then a shipment of free samples shows up. It ain't all bad, as the kid finds some spices from the motherland, tax-free. One thing's for sure, that cage is awful heavy. Troublesome scene to be sure. A few moments left and the core goes free. 10. 9, 8, 7, give or take a few seconds. Finally, the core's within reach. And done. He's got it. Just gotta get to the nearest barge. I still remember the look on his face after that one. The old world's finished, but the new world's just getting started. Folks voyaged across the boundless sea to found Celandia. It was good living here for a while. Turns out those old bones still have some spark in them. Makes time to sample spirits from my personal supply. Fetching fizz is like a mouthful of nails, but the benefits are worth it. The dead welcome him with open arms. The calamity took everybody after all. Kid sees it plain, frozen faces all around. You don't much care to see him, not like this. These folks never saw the calamity coming, but someone did. Someone close. Someone who ain't like Mr. Beckley and his kindly wife. It was someone like him. Kid sees him there agape, in the flesh. It's a snag or two trying to get to him. He ain't about to stop, no matter what. He's got so many questions after all. Just ain't got time for answers. The Thunder brothers didn't make it. They never saw what it was like beyond the walls. Nordy, the bird boy, didn't make it. The Jawsons, they didn't make it. Grady Sr., Grady Jr., they didn't make it. But him, he survived. Kid finds proof enough that man ain't from around here. Just think, without that man, we wouldn't be here right now, would we? The Corps survived as well. Kid does what he has to do. And then... what do you say to a man who's seen too much? Kid hasn't a clue, but he says this. We have to go. Please. He's a proper gentleman, that man. His name is Zolf. No hiding he's an Ura. Folks like him ain't never been a common sight in Caelondia. He's relieved to see a living face or two. The kid and I introduce ourselves in kind. Both to him and to each other for the first time. We fought the Ura decades ago, but that was then. Things are different between us now. For Zolf, Caelondia was like a second home. He's real worried about his first home, too. Far to the east. We all lost loved ones in the calamity, he says. I don't know how I'm gonna go on without mine. Zolf offers to help me plot the skyways for the kid. At least the calamity hasn't touched the stars, he says. He was born in the Tazal terminals. The Ura sent him on a mission of peace to our city, and he's lived here ever since. They remember. That's why this place is coming together. That's why things are gonna be all right. Well, look what we have here. The lost and found. Here, kid takes fragments of the old world and makes them whole again. All it takes is some fragments, and the Bastion makes it good as new. That ought to make those fangs sink in nice and deep. War machetes are so quick, you gotta keep a good grip on them. If you're feeling low, count on the buttery flavor of our own Bastion bourbon. We tracked down a couple more cores near the edge of the city. No use praying to the gods these days. No time for it either. Folks used to make pilgrimage here to pay their respects to Pith, Bull. Pith Orchard. Place is a dead end in more ways than one. The gods ain't gonna catch you if you fall. Well, the gods are long gone now, and the Orchard core is long gone too. Seems Pith ain't much of a watchdog. The gods don't care about trinkets, but the kid ain't no god. Pith stood for something once. Something real. In time, though, the bull stopped being a symbol and started being decoration. He couldn't even save his loyal subjects. Pith makes a decent scarecrow, at least. Then Pith lights up like a rodeo. Ain't easy punching through his hide. Kid breaks him to bits. Must have been guarding that shrine. So what'll it be? Invoke the gods, or tell them off? Pith. Kid decides to press his luck. Well, if the gods are alive, they must be plenty sore. Kid ain't never seen windbags that quick. Maybe old Pith put a scare in him. trial, and he's richer for it. Kid ain't found a core, but at least he found Zolf's precious shrine. Now we can build a shrine of our own, though I got some alternatives in mind. The Ura feared the gods. We turned them into toys, put their faces on our walls. Zolf doesn't touch the thing. Says the god of commotion is no children's toy. Turn him round and round all you like. Pith's still gonna be ugly. Squirt cider will toughen you right up. Too bad about the musty aftertaste. There's only one way to Cinder Brick Fort. The hard way. Sure, the city marshals may be gone, but now the fort's crawling with windbags. The calamity was mercy, normal folks. The windbags ain't so lucky. Wham! Kid's ready for the windbags this time. Well, windbags young and old keep fighting for the fort. At least the marshals left the kid a parting gift. Something the windbags just can't handle. Something that'll punch clean through their greasy hides. Windbags ain't much different from normal folks. All they want's a warm place to stay and a decent meal. The Calamity drove the windbags topside. A lot of them wound up here in this very fort. Business underground like in the old days. Windbags can't use the Marshall supplies, but the kids sure can. As for the windbags, Cinder Brick gave them enough heat and metal to munch on for a while, but the fort ain't theirs by right. Can't blame them for wanting it, though. So many of those sorry things holed up inside that old fort. Kids blasting everything in sight with that newfangled musket. Kids got a squirt lure at the ready in case things turn sour. Security's plain gone haywire. Windbags gummed up the works. Kid ain't afraid of getting burned. trapped the kid in the middle of the fort's parade grounds. Then they bring out Glutus and Blandon, all their scumbag uncles. They got something to gain, only their sorry hides to lose. Kid takes down Glutus, or maybe it was Blandon. The other big fella soon joins his brother, wherever they are now. The windbags finally get the message. The windbags put the kid on notice. Kid used to dream of getting a marshal's badge, but not like this. The Skyway's a welcome sight after all that. And now ain't nothing left for nobody down at Cinderbrick Fort. Kid shows up just as Zulf's telling me about his own journey to the city. Zulf's travels ain't much compared to what the kids had to go through for all this. The marshals seem like good men, he says. They treated him with dignity. Zulf brought his antique smoking pipe all the way from the terminals. Seems the only thing the Calamity saved for Zulf was his smoking pipe. Been meaning to put up some guardrails. Kid says hello, but Zulf's lost in thought. Even since the Ura surrendered to us, the marshals kept a wary eye on him. Anything survives a musket shot ought to be quick work for that blade. You want to tune a scrap musket, you start with the barrel. The memorial. Here, a kid can pay respect to the old world and earn it in kind. The valediction. Just another one of my sketches. Nothing more. Words can't express what happened, but they're all I got. Sometimes a single look says it all. Poor kid collapses after just one drag. The past. Only good thing ever come out of the past is history. Catches up with the kid. Hardly had a moment's rest since all this started. Fair to say he's led a hard life, supposing what he says in his sleep ain't no lie. He never knew his old man, but he had his mama to take care of. Frail thing with pure white hair like his. Having his mama's hair did the kid no favors while he was growing up, but he learned to hold his own out there. School ain't working out, so the kid signs up for a turn on the rippling walls. Make his mama some money. Thanks to folks like the kid, the walls kept Ceylondia safe from whatever's out there. The elements, the Ura, you name it. Once the kid done his time, he hurried on home. Turns out his mama's time was done too. The city had nothing for him. The money he'd been sending home was nowhere to be found either. So what'd the kid do? Why, he went right on back to the walls for another 5 years. In the history of Caelondia, nobody's ever volunteered for a second shift on the walls. Out there, kid learned to fend for himself, learn to build, learn to break. In time, the kid earned good standing with the marshals. They trusted him to scout out farther than anybody. One night, on one of his expeditions, the ground beneath him shuddered, cracked, and split apart. He saw nothing where the world used to be. The calamity happened just like that. All the kid had to work with was his hammer and the clothes on his back. Through twisted streets, he ran with nothing but the city crest and an old stranger's voice to guide him. finally arrived at Ceylandia's vaunted safe haven. He and no one else. But then, all he got was more thankless work from a man who ain't even asked his name. Sure, I may be the one who dreamt up the walls and the Bastion, but the kid made them real, not me. I'd like to say I'll never forget him, or what he's doing, what he's done. I surely would. The Gravers, the arm of justice, they seemed unstoppable. Ain't much kid can't handle with hammer and bow in hand. The Langston River flowed free and wild till the calamity drank it all up. Maybe all that water just grew wings and flew off. Riverbanks swarming with windbags. They're so bent on finding the core, they hardly notice the kid. Lucky for him, a certain famous ferry barge is still afloat. Weepin' Nellie. She sends some squirts crying home as she leaves port. Maybe Nellie knows the way to the core. Maybe she can slip right past all the clamor on the coast. maybe not. The security skiff pulls up port side. Nellie's just another windbag to those guns. Just then, the windbags notice who she's sailing with. They're pretty steamed about what happened at Cinderbrick. They try to cut her off. They try to slow her down. They try to knock her out. Well, Weepin' Nellie tries harder. Try as she might, though, she hits a snag. Kid's gotta help her get untangled. Favors for favors. At least she picked a good spot for a break, 'cause the core's right there. Then the kid hears an unusual sound, like 100 flapping wings. Peckers. They've been watching his every move. They had their own eyes on the core, but why? Well, kid ain't got time to think it over just yet. He finds Weepin' Nellie raring to go. Turns out she's got a special surprise for when the waters get rough. She's gonna need a little help with all them peckers. Crafty things think they're king of the roost now. Rest of us only wish we could fly in times like these. Security skiffs keep on coming, starboard side. Don't seem to care what they shoot, as long as they hit something. The windbag's getting even better out here. They aim to smash Weepin' Nellie to splinters. Well, it all proves too much for poor Nellie. She's just gotta make one last stop. With her last breath, Nellie gets the kid to solid ground. Solid ground in Picker country. They want that core real bad. Might be they want it just as bad as a kid. Kid shoos them off, knowing they'll be back. Know how many times kid nearly fell off the barge back there? Not even once. Now, listen close. You should remember this next part. Why go to Prosper Bluff? Used to take an enterprising man or a plain old fool to venture out that far. The city was the most beautiful place in the world. We all knew that. But on the other hand, some folks just yearn to see the things they're told they can't. And that's why you go to Prosper Bluff, ain't it? There the kid hears something he ain't heard in a long while. How's it go again? Yeah, that's the one. Well, no point explaining what happens next, right? Suffice it to say, kid ain't coming home empty-handed. And besides, it's like the song goes.
Gonna build that wall until it's done. But now you've got nowhere to run.
They'll be here before too long. We darn near celebrated when the kid got back, didn't we? Zolf never thought he'd see a fellow Ura again. We become fast friends. Calamity has that effect on people.
I dig my hole, you build a wall.
But there was more to be done. There was one last core to find. Kid's surprised when I tell him there's only one core left. I shouldn't have believed it either. A scientific journal written in Zolf's native tongue. He learned so much from it. Too much. Zolf's the talkative sort. At least he used to be. If only I'd known half the secrets of the Calamity were tucked away in that book, I'd have worked to translate it right away. Behold the Pantheon. A Kobe. The gods never liked competing for people's affections. The trappers, daring bunch of fools. They'll be missed. Most of the Ura never got a taste of Caelondia's fine goods, unless they were born and raised in the city like Zia here. Sure, the world's all gone to pieces farther than the eye can see, but leave it to this gal to point out the amazing view. Girl tried to run away from home one time, but the marshals stopped that, didn't they? So many secrets in there and she can't even read it. Her father's own journal. Kid's ready to get real personal with hammer and musket in hand. Finders keepers. Ain't never letting go of his old friend with a sturdy grip like that. With a good length of meat-gut, that bow's like new again. Kid packs a special surprise in every one of those arrows. Hensa. Javel. We tracked the final core beyond the city to the wilds. The wild unknown. Place can eat a man alive. Place is so raw, even the Calamity couldn't cook it. Not all of it. Know what's better than having to sling a pistol in a fight? Having two. Savage things lurking at every turn. Pincushions ain't the worst of it either. Kid learns the hard way not to touch those things. Pecker's got the core, like they're built a Bastion of their own. By now, kids got more needles in them than stab weed. The welcoming committee scrambles to attention. Didn't expect the kid so soon. They shouldn't have let their guard down. Getting that core was one thing. Getting out's gonna be another. He digs his way out of the clearing, but the wilds won't let him go without a fight. Wallflowers survive the calamity. All too easy to lose one's way out in the wilds. Kid takes a last look around, 'cause he ain't coming back. It toughened him up. Same goes for the kid. Best take it real slow when pincushions are afoot. Slinger Jawson's old outpost is all that's left of him. A handful of windbag shipments made it out this far. Kid's seen the last of them. Don't ever turn your back on a pincushion. Jawson's boys left all kinds of stuff out here. Gotta keep a sure foot out there. Then kid gets the feeling he's being watched. Not by me, by a lunkhead. And lunkheads ain't fond of two-legged animals. Hit him anywhere but the hindquarters and you only make him mad. The wilds already reclaimed this place. Sees a smooth black stone coughed up by the calamity. He's seeing plenty more. Wild green pineapple's not the only good thing out here. He's anxious to get back. After all, he's got the final core. His journey's over, right? Well, no, it ain't. Not by a long shot. Kid knows something's up when we ain't there to give a warm welcome. See, Zolf and I were just wrapping up a heated discussion. Zolf can barely muster the words. The calamity failed, he says, but I will not. And with that, Zolf leaves us here, alone. Zolf banged up the monument pretty bad. But there's a way to put her back together. The shards. Zolf cursed the city, cursed the Bastion, cursed me, said he was going home. When Zolf got through reading that journal, he just snapped. Started smashing up the monument till I tried to stop him. The Masons. We built the city strong. Now there's only 2 of us. I've asked a lot of the kid, but this is something he's done on his own. Takes a lot of moving pieces to make a dependable sidearm. It wasn't fixed, it was unbroken. Want to stay alive in the wilds, pack a pair of pistols and a good blade. The city brought the shards to the wilds. Now the kid's gonna bring them back.